Hello and welcome back to the World of Tech. I'm Darren Dunn, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Samsung's Wave 2 and seeing how it would live up in today's day and age. Bearing in mind the phone is coming up to its 1 year anniversary. So without further ado, let's get to it because there's a lot to talk about. So let's get down to business and talk about specifications. The Samsung Wave 2 has a 3.7 inch super clear TFT display. Now one thing I'm going to have to emphasize is super clear. The display on the Samsung Wave 2 is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to go into the menu, play around and maybe click some buttons, and you will see that this screen is just stunning. The only other one that I found better is the Retina display. This is certainly in contention with the Retina display. I'd say it's already on par with the Super AMOLED display. So, you know, Samsung do have a nice range of screens. They've got Super Clear TFT, AMOLED, Super AMOLED on their range of devices. Staying with the screen, it's got a 480 by 800 display, and it is Gorilla Glass, so if you all want to scratch up your phone, then it's not going to be as easy to do. But seriously, if you do get the chance to take a look at one of Samsung's super clear TFT displays, definitely do check it out. It's absolutely stunning. So let's talk about speed of the Samsung Wave 2. Now this device is coming up to its 1 year anniversary, so you don't expect it to be a fast phone. It clocks in with a CPU at 1 GHz, it's the Cortex processor, and I have to say, for a phone that is a year old, it's pretty snappy. I mean, I'm not expecting something that's going to be competing with today's day and age when it comes to smartphone technology. But seriously, very well done Samsung. You've done a nice phone here, and the price as well. I believe it was only around £300. You could probably get it cheaper now. But, you know, you can see for yourself. It's not a slow phone. 1 GHz is pretty high specificated for this day and age. So let's talk about memory. Now this is where it gets let down. This thing only has 2 GB of internal memory. However, it does have an SD card slot. So if you wanted to take this up to 32 GB, you can do that. And to be honest, I would recommend it, especially if you do like watching movies, which, you know, with the super clear TFT display. Thumbs up. Playing games as well. Thumbs up. Samsung have really, I can't emphasize it enough, the screen is just absolutely stunning. So let's talk about something else that has to do with visuals, the camera on the back of the device as well. Now this is a 5 megapixel camera that does shoot 720p video. The camera wasn't too bad either. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything of DSLR quality. I'll just try and load up the camera now and... Come on, old boy. Let's get my pen. So if you are going to pick up a Samsung Wave 2, please don't expect DSLR quality, but, you know, it's not bad. You know, it's definitely worth it just for a smartphone. So that's the camera on the Samsung Wave 2. Let's talk about battery life as well. That's something else that's important. As you can see, the battery on this thing is doing me pretty well. I'm definitely getting 2 days of battery life. It has a 1500 mAh battery, so it's pretty impressive battery wise. Definitely, if you are a phone whore and you need to play on your phone all the time, the Samsung Wave 2 definitely has the battery for somebody like you. So Darren, what operating system does it run? Does it run Android? iOS? Symbian? No, it runs the operating system that not many people have actually, well, they've seen it, but they're like, what is that? It's the Barda OS, and I believe it has an overlay of TouchWiz UI 3.0. Now this, on Samsung devices, especially the budget Samsung devices, you are going to find this operating system. Barda OS, it's nothing special, however, you know, it has everything that a modern OS has. You know, you've got all of your productivity applications, for example. Social Hub, I use that a lot. I'm on Twitter, at World of Tech UK. What else is there? Clock. It's always useful. Got to tell the time these days. There's Facebook and Twitter as well. YouTube. I had a pretty decent YouTube experience. Show you up. Initializing, yes, unfortunately it is the mobile version of YouTube, but the browser in Barda OS isn't that bad at all. Let's scroll through and tell you what, come on. Excuse me. Come on. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to do that, but let's head over to the worldoftech.net and while that thing boots up, I will tell you that the keyboard on this thing within Barda OS isn't that bad. It's very, very, very reminiscent of the keyboard in iOS. That's one thing I did notice about the Samsung Wave 2 is, you know, if you've got an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to see a lot of sort of features that have been taken from one operating system and put into another operating system. So let's start looking on our website and zooming in. So that's done, just like iOS, pinch to zoom. Pretty fluent for a phone of this day and age. Well, this age anyway. This phone is a year old, and the fact that it is impressing me, you know, normally these things I'd definitely be able to tell their age, but you know, it's a pretty fast phone, and you know, if you're not somebody that's going to be using it every day, you're not bothered about speed, then the Samsung Wave definitely do consider, but bear in mind that it is a year old and the Wave 3 will probably be coming out very, very shortly if it's not already out by the time you're watching this video. So what about call quality? It's a phone, it's got to make phone calls, and it does make phone calls. What I've done is for about 3 weeks, I put my SIM card in the Samsung Wave 2 and used it as my primary phone, and I have to say, it did me well. You know, the speaker on the phone is pretty clear. Loudspeaker wasn't too bad either. In fact, one thing I will credit to the loudspeaker is it's pretty loud. Let's try and give you a quick demo. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but for a phone, it's definitely loud enough. Speaker on the top, this little boy on the top, it's gonna be fine. You know, you're not gonna notice any white noise. The microphone that's built in didn't give me any problems. I've asked a few people that I was on a phone call with what the quality was like. They said it was pretty okay. You know, there was nothing that you could definitely tell it was a mobile phone. However, it's just a phone. It's gonna make decent phone calls. That's what matters. So if I was to sum up the Samsung Wave 2 in a few words, it would have to be stylish, pretty fast, and reliable. I've not had any problems with the Samsung Wave 2. Samsung always do make reliable phones, and I have to say the Samsung Wave 2 is definitely one of them. So this has been my review of the Samsung Wave 2. If you have liked this review, please do subscribe. Head over to theworldoftech.net for all of your latest tech news and reviews, and give us a follow on Twitter at twitter.com/worldoftechuk. I'm Darren Dunn. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.